Hi, it's Mr.raven here, and I'm restarting the bridge disaster. As you can see in the background here, I decided to um, record it all in one go and clip it together for you guys, so you don't have to see me play the same mission twice over 4 new episodes. So yeah, I just started putting the two lines together from the coal plant, or the coal station. What do you call it? And from the iron ore dig site to the steel production plant. What you see me doing here is preparing for the shipyard that's gonna freight our steel to the bridge to construction site. I decided to put in a truck station at the nearest town to the tool factory. I thought I would uh, start sending tools to that city to start the production. And now to the trains. I thought I would take one of the cheaper train this time, and I bought not enough wagons for coal for the coal train, so it could um, freight over 30 units of coal for the next mission I know coming. Um, yeah, and I set the trains off, and let's see what's happened. So yeah, I just started to set up our uh, freight yards for the ships. You can see me fiddling with it here. Um, and I thought it was a good idea to do it by train this time. Uh, as you see me later, I'm going to try to reuse my train as much as possible. So I bought me a depot and bought me some horse-driven carriages and set a line up.
Would not have happened if only they had the proper figures available. The engineers factored in a maximum wind load of 20 pounds per square foot, although the French assume 40 pounds, and the Americans even assume 50. And American engineers are not exceedingly cautious, as the whole world knows. We had better not trust information from just anyone. We will conduct our own measurements, with test runs over the bridge at the west end of the Firth.
Yeah, so I set up a line um, for the tools for the tool production plant and the city. As you can see here, my plan was to use the same train as my iron ore train to freight um, steel to the tool factory. And if you were quick enough, you could see I put on some Gus wagons. Um, my plan with that was that the same train could take some tool back to my shipyard in the nearest future.
Steel production is coming along beautifully. And thanks to the extensive data from the test runs, the construction of the bridge can finally begin. Let's go. The owner of the steelworks has come to us with a request. He is joint owner of a shipping company, but business is going poorly because of the railroad. He has offered to reciprocate if we transport goods by ship.
And that was my plans from the start. So I'm gonna buy a train, and the right one this time. um, and I set up a line from the steel factory to the bridge construction site. Um, I'm gonna let the ship sail once, just to get a connection, and then I'm gonna use my coal train um, and put some steel on it, steel wagons on it, and then I'm gonna adjust my line so it will take one trip down to the station at the freight docks. Um, yeah, so that's the plan. And here I'm setting up a line for uses in the future. Um, my thought is to freight tools with the ship when the bridge construction is done. So I put up a line already now, and I'm actually buying some horse-driven carriages. Um, yeah. So here I realized that I put on the ghost wagons from earlier, and I want to keep down my running costs, so I decided to take them off the steel train. I realized how long it was gonna take to fill the ship with only two steel wagons on the train, so I bought some more and put them on. So again, I realized how long it was gonna take to fill um, the steel ship, so I took off the tool wagons to the city on the other side of the river. So I filled up the ship, and it's going for the bridge construction site. And as you can see, I'm not gonna be millionaire in that, but again, I'm delivering the steel in the mission, and I'm delivering goods by ship, so So now it's getting a little confusing, I think. I took the steel wagons off my coal train because I I thought I had all the steel that I needed um, for the ship, but as you can see in the upper right corner, um, I'm missing some steel. Um, I hadn't realized that yet, I think. Um, so I put on some all the spare steel wagons. I put on my um, iron ore train, um, and I alter its route to try to deliver some tools to the shipyard. Um, and that just confused the line. Um, yeah, as you see in a minute, uh, firstly, the ore train didn't deliver any steel to the shipyard, so I didn't get the last 5 steel that I needed. Um, but I started up the horse carriages on the line to deliver tools to the city on the other side of the river. Um, so I thought that I could start a demand on tools uh, to the shipyard. Uh, and I let it run for a little bit to see what's gonna happen. I realized that I needed a little more steel, so I bought a new steel carriage for the coal train, and I altered its route to deliver steel to the shipyard because the iron ore train didn't do it. Yeah, and that's what is gonna happen with train 1 now. It's gonna pick up some steel and hopefully drop them off by the depot. And it did, but I was still missing 1 steel, but it delivered 8. I didn't understand that. Um, so I thought, well, let it run again. But then I realized that the train station told me that there was 5 steel waiting for the train going to the tool factory. So when the coal train dropped off steel at the shipyard, only some of the steel was going to the ship, and the rest was depoted at the station waiting for the iron train to come and pick it up. So I deleted the iron trains um, uh, going to the shipyard. So the only demand there should be was the ship, and I think that's good to know, because that confused me a little bit. That that actually could do that. It actually could do that. So yeah, and there it got the last deal. So I took off the extra steel wagon that I bought, and bought some more coal wagons for the coal train, and I
The bridge is finished. Now we just have to see to it that people trust the construction despite the disaster on the Tay. The more often the bridge is crossed, the more reliable it will seem. The money is slipping through our fingers. We'll soon be bankrupt. But if we're prepared to grovel on our hands and knees, our financiers will grant us a bridge loan.
so I started the construction of the passenger side of the mission. So next to the station and all around the city, I put up bus stops. Um, I did it so I could get some more people to the train station. Uh, and I did it before the train line was done, in hope of uh, getting a number of person waiting for the train uh, when the line was done. And I did the same in the other city. So yeah, I bought a train and I bought uh, some uh, some passenger wagons, and yeah, set things in motion. I realized there that the ship was holding two steels, and I thought I better set it to deliver them, so I could get my tool line working. So yeah, here I'm just looking if things are working as it should. Um, it does pick up steel for the tool production. Uh, and let's see what it's gonna pick up. It picked up like 5 tools, and that's not quite enough to make it profitable. But well, I thought that the ship maybe just should have its time to get started. It has been docked for a long time with only two steel, and I hadn't shipped steel for it. So yeah, I thought I'm gonna give it a chance. And yeah, and the train is filled up with passengers from the start actually. So that was pretty cool. Um, and that passenger line actually earned me money. So I thought, well, I'm gonna put on some extra passenger wagons. So that what I did there. Um, yeah, I was low on money, so I was a little concerned at that moment if if I actually was gonna make it. Uh, and I realized that one train wasn't gonna get me 5 completed trips within the same year uh, as the mission sounded. So yeah, yeah. As you can see, I looked at my budget and I was a little concerned that if I actually was gonna make it, and I was looking looking around for a way to earn more money or a way to cut some of my expenses off. Um, but yeah, so here I decided to reduce my coal train 1, from 10 to 5 wagons. Um, and I decided to yeah, I decided that the tool line to the city on the other side of the river wasn't gonna make me any money, and I decided to up my capacity on this side of the river. Uh, and I'm gonna shorten off my steel train, and I'm gonna sell my horses and sell the ship to cut down uh, expenses. And I knew that the one train, uh, passenger train, wasn't enough to complete this mission, so I started to make some crossing points um, on both sides of the river. So the trains has a place where it can cross each other. Um, um, and when I was done with that, I experimented with putting uh, another train on the line to see if those two trains could make um, the 5 trips within 1 year. So Edinburgh has a lot of passengers waiting, um, but the other city it didn't have had so many. So yeah, well, I decided to wait uh, buying the train and set it in motion till the train here um, has reached Edinburgh. Yeah, I was looking a little around. Um, I was considering to replace my trains because they were getting old, and as you may not know, um, your your annual cost of having the trains increase as older the locomotives and the wagons are. So there are about 62 years the trains, so they were getting more and more expensive to have running. But I decided that with only uh, around 2 millions in the bank, I was not spending that amount of money on replacing any locomotives. So yeah, I didn't even know at that point if 2 trains on the passenger line was enough to get the 5 trips. Yeah, then I decided to destroy all the additional tracks and the harbors and stuff like that because they're they're figuring in my annual uh, cost too. So I deleted them, um, and I actually started to have green lines or green numbers in my budget. So not by much, but a little bit. So I was earning a little money. So I thought, well, I'm gonna buy a passenger train more. 2 trains didn't cut it. Um, so I hope that one more train would do it. So as you can see there, I got up to 4 trips within a year, and I just missed 1 trip. Um, and it was in December I reached the 4th trip. So I thought I'd give it one more year in hope of um, that it would get it this time. Um, So yeah, I actually bought some new locomotives right here before the end. So yeah, I realized that the 3 trains wasn't enough, so I bought the 4th train, and I thought then it should be possible. You know, they were definitely gonna make one trip each, and they should be able to get the last one. Um,
As of late, the longest and most popular bridge in the world stretches
and I did
across
it.
the Firth of Forth. And we
Thank you
built
for
that
watching,
masterpiece.
and I hope you liked the video. See you next time.